Hi guys, welcome back to our video again. So now we got to open up the radiator. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolt. So these are the 4 radiator screw mount. So you need to open them up. So all these are 10 mm bolt that we need to remove. And then you can access to the fan and the alternator inside. It seems like the tolerance is a little bit too tight. Okay, so this is good for you to do your valve clearance later because we want to wash the alternator. It was pretty dirty, so what we need to do now is to drain out the coolant. Okay, hopefully there's no surprise, and then at the same time we can wash the radiator. So far so good, no scaling involved. Once we open up the cap, we can do the draining at the bottom. So it's a T40 bolt. T meaning it's like a star shape, so it's pretty loose. Another 10 mm bolt somewhere here, okay, as you can see. So it's just right behind the O2 sensor. Then you need to release in order to drain out the balance coolant. So we need an extension in order to reach it. So just let it drip. 10 mm bolt comes with a washer. We will clean this up and put it back. Okay, as we can see, the coolant is pretty black. So once the fluid is 80-90% drained out, so there are still some hidden in the tube. So in order to take out the whole radiator, we need to unplug all this tube with all this clamp on it. So we need to clamp them open one by one. As you can see, there's still more liquid in it. Okay, probably we gotta wash this. I think this is the fan. Okay, so we need to remove the fan. So in order to unscrew this, you need a special tool. If not, the whole thing will just keep on spinning. So we take this CVT tools, and then I will use the thicker side to hold this fan. Then we'll utilize the resistant force to unscrew the 10 mm bolt. Probably we gotta wash this plastic fan. So now we have access to this alternator bell. It's pretty rusty, so probably we gotta do some treatment to it. Okay, so we realize you need a special tool to take out the flywheel, so there's no way we can pull it out without that special tool. And all we can do now is just to use a sandpaper to try to sand off all the rust, and then we'll use part cleaner to clean it up. Okay, so we try to sand it off with sandpaper to our best ability. So now we got to clean it with the degreaser and also part cleaner. So we have to install this fan back in order to do the valve clearance. While waiting for the radiator to dry, we were cleaning it. So interestingly, we were wondering how to put it back to ensure there's the right spot. There's this like a white dot here, a marking here. So I believe that this extra space here on the fan must be aligned to that dot. So let's try out. Okay, coincidentally, that line also has a two like dot here. Okay, so all these bolts are just 8 Newton meters, so hand tightening is pretty much possible. Okay, so while waiting for the radiator to dry, we will do the valve clearance since the bike has already cooled down more than a day. So it should be at room temperature. So first we need to remove the spark plug. So the spark plug is located here on the left hand side. So all we need to do is to pull out the coil. Okay, and then we got to unscrew this out. So this is the spark plug that we took out. Pretty decent, not that bad. Let's measure the gap. So it's supposed to be like 0.8 or 0.9, somewhere there. Once we remove the spark plug, we want to remove this cam cover, but a few things is in the way, so we got to remove this fuel injector line and also the cam cover hose. So there's 3 bolts that you need to loosen, 1 here, 2 here, and then this one third. After removing the 3 10 mm bolts, so what we need to do is to open up this breather hose. So once the breather hose is out, so we can unscrew the cam cover, which is also a 10 mm bolt. So 4 of them, 2 on top, okay, and 2 at the bottom. So we got some issue reaching in with our fat hands. Okay, so we have took out all the 4 bolts. What we want to do now is to mallet it, tap on it, so it will come out easily. Out, we will try to figure how to pull it out. Looks like we gotta remove this battery holder in order to take out the cover, if not it's in the way. Okay, so once we remove the two 10mm bolts from the side, we are able to loosen this, and then we are able to take out the valve cover. As you can see, there's some leakage here, so probably we gotta change this gasket. So in order to move the crankshaft or the piston to top dead center, open up this CVT cover, the front one. So these 3 bolts are 8mm. Okay, so this is a 22mm, so you will turn clockwise until the other side. So where this gap actually aligns with this indicator. So that's where the F and the, I think, T here is supposed to meet. And the tap pad is supposed to be loose. You can shake it. So if it's too tight, then probably you are at the wrong stroke. So all you need to do is just do clockwise again 1 more round. You should be able to feel this is shaking. Okay, so as we can see here, there's a gap in between. So all we have to do is to just slide this thing over. This feeler gauge, this point 0.15, so it's way over clearance. So the clearance should be 0.1 to 0.12. So we gotta adjust this. So we have this 889mm, so we just loosen a little bit, and then we will use a pincer to tighten this. So I'm going to feel this 10mm able to slide in and out freely with a little bit of resistance. Okay, this is good. So what we gotta do is lock in the nut. So we have done the intake to 0.1. So now we gotta do the exhaust, which is 0.24. Let's see what's the value now. Okay, so this is very interesting. This is also set to a 1.0, I guess. The exhaust valve is totally wrong. So all we need to do is we need to reset it to 2.4. Okay, so this is the new gasket that we bought. So in order to put it in, so already use a degreaser to degrease all the oil on the groove. And what we need next is a gasket maker, just to apply it in the groove so that the gasket sticks on it. Okay, and then we just fitted gasket in. So another important part is these 2 corners, one the other side at the bottom. So the factory requests you to put some gasket maker or some sealant here. Okay, so we have put back the cam cover. So we bolt 1, 2, 3, 4. We cross bolt it. There's no torque value. So probably we just use hand tighten plus a little bit. So now we got the screw back all this attachment that was on top, and also the breather hose. Okay, so we have installed back all the item, including the battery, and we also installed new radiator guard. So right now everything is back in order. So what we need to do is just to flush out the engine and also top up the coolant. If you look sideways, this is the drain bolt that we got a crack open. It's a 12mm bolt. Okay, so after spraying some lubrication, we finally managed to crack it open. So now we can use our hand to, open it up. So while waiting for the oil to drain, we will also top up the coolant. Okay, so the next area will be the screener, which is here. Real brake cable is actually in the way, so we have to break it open. So this will be a size 8. So after we remove this is a size 17 that we gotta crack open. And then, okay. So when we put it on a side stand, then yes, it will flow out. So we just let it flow. So this one is quite straightforward. The smaller spring is inside. This one's supposed to go in like this. How you take it out is how you put it back in. Okay, next we gotta drain out the gear oil. So there's 2 bolts, one at the bottom here. This is the drain bolt. It's a size 10 bolt. The top inner one is an inspection bolt. Okay, you can smell the burn smell. And then the bottom one, this is your drain bolt. Okay, so after reading the owner's manual, the Honda gear oil actually uses 1030 or 1040, which is the engine oil. It's not the regular 8090 that we use on the Yamaha or other gear system. And it doesn't use a lot of engine oil. It just uses like about 120 ml. So once we lock up the bottom one, and then all we need to do is just try to overfill, squeeze in until it overflows. Okay, so we fill until it's overflow, we know it's good enough. Okay, so once the flow stops, we can actually put the boat back. Okay, we just ensure that everything is properly in place, so nothing is loose or whatnot, that later the oil will flow out. So right now, the moment of truth, we will turn on the pipe. Okay, looks good. Okay, so it took us a while to assemble all the inner panel back. So right now we gotta put the outer one. Okay, so we have fully assembled the bike, and then we also have washed it and then wax it. So just let it dry for the night. So that will be all for now. Alright guys, that's all for this video. See you on the next one. Bye bye.